what are you looking for?
Trying to find something that's kind of a dual purpose. Showpig, one that can be competitive in the ring, but then also on the flip side, maybe compete with some of our commercial pigs or commercial sows in terms of productivity, mothering ability. It's hard to find those in the Showpig industry, but I think if we can find one or two that can kind of be the foundation female, can we find a dual purpose gilt? I mean,
To be both a commercial, to be both a commercial hog
and a Showpig. You know, it's a lot to ask, but yeah, we'll see if we can find one that does it.
This one you've got your eye on tonight, she's a show hog first, correct?
She is a Showpig first and foremost. But she's got a lot of good genetics backing her up. This one kind of caught our attention a little bit, and it's basically because of the producer that she's from. The producer that has this gilt offered online has done a really good job of kind of combining some production traits along with some Showpig traits, and that's kind of why this one jumped out at us a little bit.
This is an auction, right?
This is an online auction, sight unseen. We haven't seen her. We spoke to the breeder just briefly about her, but you know, we're buying her. The reasons for kind of trying to invest in this one is, one, we know the producer has some production traits built into their house, into their sow herd. Two, they've done a really good job of making their pigs kind of durable. I think they're going to hold up in terms of a group housing, and they've done really well in the show ring. Sales live, so we just put the first bid in on her. We got right in on her the first bid that we put down. So she had a $5,000 floor. So the first bid that we had to put in was at $5,000, which kind of tells you what the seller thinks of her to put a floor bid like that in on that particular sow. So looks like we're going up in increments of 250. So yeah, he had asked what we think we could get her for. Right now, our budget, we were talking about it, and I think our budget on this female is about $7,000. If she gets too much, if she gets up to $7,000 without seeing her, this is sight unseen. You know, we're getting a little past what I'm comfortable with. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get her somewhere in the 55 to 6 range maybe, but it usually doesn't go that way.
So, how many bids?
Too many.
Other people are interested in her?
Yep.
What's your limit?
7. 7's the limit. 7's where we're gonna go. I've kind of always been that way in terms of bidding pigs. You know that.
I do.
Like, you just hit your limit and then you stop. You know, you don't. It's easy to get swept away or carried away in these type of auctions. And
Hello?
hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, how are you?
Good. We're just gonna let you know the gilt that we were bidding on tonight. Well, she's at our price point right now, so we ran her up to 7.
Well, remember, like, this is gonna be fair pigs for the boys, too. If you think she's good enough, it might be worth it to push the button.
You say so?
Yeah, I say push it. If she's worth it, she's worth it.
I'm surprised that she's gone this far.
Well, push the button. If you don't, I will, so.
Alright. No, she said so.
Mama said.
So we took her to 72.50, they've got to be at 75. We got her. Well, we'll see what we got ourselves into. So from here to there, it's about a 9-hour trip, 10-hour trip one way. So if we can get her at least halfway here, that would help. Yeah.
You happy with it?
I'll let you know when I see her.
How you feeling?
Good.
Sam. There she is.
So, environment. What environment she's coming out of? Is she coming out of like a
Concrete, open housing on straw.
Yep. So she's going to kind of play a dual purpose role.
I mean, that's how we run stuff. We run stuff on a commercial mind.
right.
At our place. And that's how we evaluate our females, is on commercial feed. So when you put them on show feed, they almost get too much to them.
Right. It should be
And so a lot of gilts will feed, well, the reserve gilt down at Duncan that we had, she's being fed half sow feed.
right. So
It just,
she doesn't have pup on her. Right?
yeah,
Like,
they're not overly fluffed.
well, I think you guys
And so it is a unique situation on how we raise our females and how we run the deal, because it had always been commercial operation at our place.
right.
Ever since in the 70s and 80s and 90s, growing up, it was commercial hogs. We got into the purebred business in the mid 80s or early 80s with a few York sows, and then it just kind of spawned and kept growing to being basically almost 100% purebreds in the 90s.
Right.
But everything was raised in a commercial situation.
Well, I think you guys have done a good job by bridging that gap too. I mean, you guys have had success in the show ring and proven that you can do it. Got a good temper, oh god. I think she's the definition of a dual purpose hog, right? Like, can win a show and
Yes.
perform it.
I mean, the mommy side of that deal should be very good. I mean, the Dynamite daughters have been doing a very good job in the fairgrounds. The Dynamite daughters have been doing a very good job.
Right.
And mommy did a good job. Milked really well, laid down, did a very good job. I wouldn't expect anything less out of her to do the same.
We're excited to have her.
So, well, we're not really excited about leaving her. I appreciate the interest.
There we go. All right. We've been on the road since 8 o'clock this morning.
So
We're 10 hours.
10 hours in.
10 hours in.
So the biggest issue that we've got to look at right now is just trying to get home. We're just trying to get her home as quick as we can, as comfortably as we can, get her settled down. That's all you can do when you have these long trainings for these animals. Back to Minnesota weather.
That's right.
So 10 hours into it, and that is $150 worth of fuel.
All right. She's up to...
Some of those expenses that need to be calculated in when considering buying a deal, right?
That's right.
All right, so this is where we're gonna isolate her. Just to protect our farm, just to protect her, bringing a new animal in. One of the first things that we want to do, obviously, is practice some good biosecurity. All right. So now you kind of get to analyze her. I think she was pictured very well in terms of accurately kind of capturing what she's like. Skin and hair is acceptable. She does have a little bit of a skin issue going on. Hit her with some Iovamec. Try to get that cleaned up. It's not going to be an issue as long as we get on it, take care of it right away. I'm very happy with how piggy she is. So just the size of her belly for as far along as what she is. She's 30 days out and she's already showing really, really well. Her underline, she does have a pin nipple. She's got one nipple down here that I'm not a big fan of that. So she's got 6 and 6. I would, for a sow of her size, I would, an acceptable underline on a Yorkshire female for me is 7 and 7. So she does fall short in terms of her underline quality for me. But other than that, overall, pretty pleased with her. A scale of 1 to 10, I would say a solid 8.
So you're happy with the
I'm happy
purchase?
with it. I'm happy with it.